2 Canadians have reportedly been freed from captivity. Global Affairs Canada confirms to CBC the pair have safely left Syria. It is not saying much else, however. We do have Evan Dyer tracking this story. You're great at trying to get more details, Evan. Anything else?
Well, what we can say from the government is pretty limited. They're only confirming that 2 Canadians are safely outside of Syria. But what we understand that to mean is that Jolly Bimbachi and Sean Allen Moore, both of Chatham, Ontario, are now safely in Turkey after being in the custody of Hayat Tahrir al-Sham, which is essentially the affiliate of al-Qaeda in Syria. These two went there over a child custody case. In fact, they didn't go to Syria, they went to Lebanon. Jolly Bimbachi was married to a Lebanese man, and in 2015 he took their 2 boys on a trip, he said, to his native Lebanon, but never returned. And she's been trying to get those 2 boys back to Canada ever since. She traveled to Lebanon in October last year and was able to reunite with her boys, but just for visitation. She wasn't able, so far as we know, to get custody of the 2 boys. And what we really don't know is how she ended up in Syria. But what appears to be Sean Allen Moore's involvement, he's a Christian aid worker who's had a lot of experience in this part of the world. He's worked in northern Iraq a lot, helping Christian villagers there, Dahok area, and Assyrian Christian region of Iraq, and appears to have offered to help her to get her children back, according to someone else in Chatham who knows the 2. And so that seems to be the reason why he was there in Lebanon. What's not so clear is how they came to be in Syria and how they came to be in the hands of this group.
And what more do you know about this group that was reportedly holding them, Evan?
Well, this really goes back to 2013. If you look at the beginning of the Syrian civil war, al-Qaeda in Iraq sent fighters into Syria who quickly fell out among themselves and split off into 2 organizations. One of them renounced its allegiance to al-Qaeda and became the Islamic State, or ISIS, that notorious organization that is now the target of a coalition of 60 Western nations. The other one, though, remained loyal to the main al-Qaeda international structure, and that slowly morphed through a number of name changes and mergers where it absorbed other Syrian jihadi organizations into this group that we today call Hayat Tahrir al-Sham. That's the name it's given itself. It's really a coalition of jihadi groups. It means the Organization for the Liberation of the Levant. And it has always been considered by people who follow jihadi affairs to be the successor organization to al-Qaeda. Although al-Qaeda has officially cut ties with the group, most people see that just as an attempt to shake this terror designation, to get off the terror list by shape-shifting and transforming its name. And it was finally successful in that effort last year when it came up with its latest iteration, its latest name change. It succeeded in getting off the Canadian and U.S. terror lists. And so although it apparently has been seizing Canadian hostages, it is not a designated terrorist organization in Canada.
Thanks for that, Evan. CBC's Evan Dyer in Ottawa.